After weeks of fierce fighting, troops loyal to Syrian President Bashar al-Assad swept into the strategic town of Qusair. Opposition fighters were forced to flee last week, leaving behind ammunition and the dead. The capture of Qusair was a crucial victory for the beleaguered government and a significant defeat for Western-backed rebels. Middle East expert Charles Dunn of Freedom House.
It was clear that it was a big military shift and also a big psychological shift, both for the regime and for the opposition armed forces as well.
The rebels are now fighting Syrian troops strengthened by thousands of Hezbollah militia from Lebanon. Analysts say Hezbollah's decision to fully back Damascus is a game changer, tilting the war in favor of the Syrian government. Again, Charles Dunn.
Hezbollah fighters are some of the most experienced, toughest, and determined in the Middle East. So it's been a real morale booster for the Syrian government forces.
Rebels have repeatedly asked Western countries to supply weapons to help them counter Syrian tanks, warplanes, and helicopter gunships. U.S. President Barack Obama is said to be reconsidering his opposition to arming the rebels, but remains strongly opposed to intervention requiring U.S. forces inside Syria. Still, the White House said Thursday it is considering all options. Atlantic Council senior fellow Frederic.
This is a war Iran and Hezbollah have decided not to lose. We are not yet seeing this level of resolve on the part of the administration.
For weeks, the United States has been trying to set up an international peace conference, even while considering military strategies. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry.
We both understand the complications with the situation on the ground and moving forward rapidly, but there will have to be a political solution, ultimately, to the situation on the ground.
Some analysts say, in addition to arming the rebels, Western nations should create a no-fly zone. Jon Alterman of the Center for Strategic and International Studies.
It simultaneously projects resolve. It commits the United States and Europe more than they've been so far, and it has a genuinely humanitarian face.
Since the beginning of the Syrian conflict, nearly all Western politicians and analysts have predicted the fall of Mr. Assad. Now they are not so sure. Charles Dunn of Freedom House.
And I do think that it is possible that President al-Assad can be in power at the end of all of this, presiding over a ruined and bleeding Syria.
Having captured Qusair, the Syrian government is believed to be focusing on battles to come in Homs and Aleppo. Meanwhile, the U.S. says Syria will be discussed at the G8 summit next week. Meredith Buel, VOA News, Washington.